Christmas Eve closed over the mountain like a steel door. Wind pushed snow sideways through the pines, erasing sound and distance. Fresh boot prints cut straight toward a new 8-foot fence topped with barbed wire, the kind meant to make people turn around. Whoever left those tracks never slowed. They laughed quietly, convinced that isolation meant weakness and that no one important lived beyond that line. Inside the cabin, Evelyn Cross didn't panic. She didn't reach for a phone or peer through the window. She studied a monitor and breathed out once, slow and steady. She recognized the problem immediately. Men assuming the property was empty. Assuming a woman alone meant defenseless. Assuming no one was watching. A small wooden star hung in the window, catching the last light of day. It looked fragile. It was. Evelyn Cross was in her mid-30s, but her stillness made her seem older. She lived alone by choice, legally retired, civilian on paper only. Once, she had been a U.S. Navy SEAL sniper. Her call sign had been Echo 3, a role that never truly leaves your bones. She bought the mountain in autumn, 800 acres, paid in full, asked the realtor for one thing: keep it quiet, no announcements, no curiosity, small towns noticed anyway. A woman buying unwanted land alone always sparked stories. Recluse, survivalist, running from something. Evelyn never corrected them. She dressed plainly. No unit hats, no stickers, no stories. Her calm unsettled people because it didn't ask for approval. She moved through town like someone used to being measured. Paid, nodded, left. Up on the mountain, every choice was deliberate. Tools arranged for speed. Roof reinforced before weather tested it. Fence built high and clear. Sensors placed where no casual eye would notice. To locals, it looked excessive. To Evelyn, it was the minimum required for peace. The only person who treated her like a human being was Eleanor Briggs. Mountain tough, observant, careful with words. Eleanor left a casserole on the porch once with a note that said the weather would turn mean. She never asked about cameras or fences, only if the stove pulled right and the roof would hold. The past still followed Evelyn, in flashes, wind that sounded like rotors, darkness that reminded her of another winter, another mountain. Years earlier, she had lain in a hide with her spotter, Luke Harland. Bad intel, bad decisions. Luke never came home. The system moved on. Evelyn didn't. She left quietly and bought silence instead. The first alert came late Christmas Eve. Southeast perimeter. 5 men. Disciplined spacing. Professional movement. One studied the camera like he expected it. They tested the fence and vanished back into the trees. It wasn't a warning. It was a measurement. She drove into town the next morning, filed a report. Deputy Aaron Cole dismissed it. Christmas. Hunters probably lost. Evelyn didn't argue, she left. At the diner, Eleanor listened and went still. Not kids, she said, contractors, poachers with training, a network. The sheriff hadn't stopped them. People who talked lost dogs, lost tires, lost courage. On the drive home, Evelyn found a deer carcass hanging from her gate. A message. She cut it down and buried it without ceremony. That night she opened a cabinet she hadn't touched since retiring. The tools inside were clean, ready. She understood something clearly then. They weren't there for food. They were there to claim ownership. The cabin changed quietly. Furniture moved. Maps unrolled. The mountain became geometry, sight lines, wind patterns, positions chosen without ego. Discipline returned like muscle memory. The alerts came again. 12 men this time, coordinated, confident, moving like they owned the dark. Evelyn waited. The first shot shattered their light, not a man. Darkness fell uneven and sharp. Confusion followed. The second light died. Panic crept in. She moved constantly. Shots placed to wound terrain, not people. Bark exploded. Dirt sprayed. One man screamed as fragments tore his hand. Blood marked the snow. She had the leader in her scope, a perfect shot. She didn't take it. Instead, she sent the round into the ground beside his head. The message was unmistakable. She could end this. She chose not to. They retreated, dragging their injured with them, pride abandoned, survival chosen. Evelyn stayed until silence returned. Only then did her hands shake, not fear, wait. Morning brought deputies, evidence, blood, shell casings placed with intention. Sergeant Ridley saw the truth without her saying it. A federal ranger arrived, walked the fight backward, then said it quietly, Captain Cross. No one argued. Evelyn hadn't protected herself. She'd protected the land, because violence never stops where it starts. The network collapsed slowly after that. Law replaced gunfire, the mountain healed, wildlife returned. Silence meant safety again. Years passed, the land became protected. Evelyn stayed. She answered a leaner's knocks, shared coffee instead of maps. Another Christmas Eve arrived, gentle this time. Snow fell straight down. A lost child knocked on her door. Evelyn brought her inside, warmed her hands, made the call. When the child asked if she guarded the mountain, Evelyn only smiled. The wooden star still hung in the window, weathered, unbroken. Peace hadn't come by accident. It had been chosen. And on the mountain, that choice held.